The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
I did some online shopping. No.
I saw this as breaking news.
No. I'm not
go
that
out of
bad.
control.
Remember those years, the murky years?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that
You
you...
always say that.
What?
You've got a story regularly and you say, I'm not that bad.
No, or the only difference,
But they-
Nathan,
no,
is
no,
that...
Before
They're
then,
out.
there used to be
Nathan,
100 orders happening
The
at once.
difference is
Yeah.
now it doesn't get delivered here, so we don't see it.
That's the only thing.
I get things delivered to mum and dad's house all the time, right? Because there's always someone at home
Does
to
it feel
to
like
get
it's a gift then? Because you're getting it from them?
No, I just know that it's there. You know what I mean? And then, like, I know it's safe. I've never really gotten anything delivered to my apartment ever because I've just always gotten it to mum and dad's. Like, yeah, no, never. I always just, and then then it's an excuse to go and see mum and dad. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So-
because, okay.
Yeah,
you need a
you need
reason.
one.
Yeah, nice. I like my parents. Anyway, so then we're at. So I've decided to get something delivered to my apartment, and I got a notification, an email from DHL, telling me that your delivery is on its way. It's been sent, and then it had my address. So I had the correct street names, correct suburb, correct postcode. But the thing that was different is they combined my apartment number and my house number together without a slash.
Yep.
So it's now a 3-digit number instead of apartment something, number something,
Yes.
street.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, well, this is...
So presumably that what they've done with combining it into a 3 number, that address doesn't exist.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your street's not that long.
Yeah. So I ended up going on the phone yesterday and I rang DHL and
So
I
you
had
get
a
a
chat
call
with them.
centre, yeah?
Yeah. So the chick was really lovely and I just said to her, hey, there's been a mistake. I'm checking out the address that I provided the company where I purchased the thing from and that is correct. Now I see the address that you've got and it's a different number. So can I change that address? And she goes, okay, yep, no worries. I'm sorry that happened. And she goes, what's the address? And I gave her the proper one. And then she says to me, okay, fantastic. Now, because we've changed the address, I've just got to read out these terms and conditions. So she goes on for like a minute or so. But then at the end, the 2 terms and conditions that like sort of went right there was that if it's damaged or goes missing, now they're not liable because I had to change.
You changed the address on them.
because what the way that their system interprets that is that you have redirected the parcel to a different address, even though the original address doesn't exist because they got it wrong.
At the end, she turns around and she goes, do you accept these terms and conditions? And I said, respectfully, no, I don't. I said, why is it on me when either the company I bought it from or you guys has stuffed up the address? I didn't make a stuff up. So why, therefore, am I at risk of having my package damaged or stolen or missing?
Yeah.
And then she goes, yeah, I understand that. She goes, but you need to to agree to these terms and conditions.
So it can't progress unless you've agreed to them.
We cannot change your address to your right to address unless you agree to these terms and conditions and say that we're not liable. And I said to her, well, I don't agree to that. She goes, well, I can't change your address. I was like, this is crazy.
Are you still on the phone to her?
This is crazy. So I said
Put
to
her
her,
on, I'll have a word.
So I said to her, I have to agree with this to happen. She goes, yeah. And I said, well, okay, can I open up a case then?
Yes.
I want to open up a case. And she goes, why? And I said, because I wanted to let it be known.
Because this is not resolved.
Let it be known that if something happens to my package, then I have had this issue with you and we've had this conversation. And then she goes, don't look. She goes, what I just read out sounds scary. She goes, but if something happens to your package, we'll look after you. And I said, but you just said you wouldn't.
Yes.
You're going to agree to the fact that you won't.
Not that they wouldn't, but that they don't have to.
Yes.
That they don't have to, yeah.
It's insane.
It is insane.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
So I had to say yes. I had to say yes, Sean. God, have you ever said yes to something you didn't want to do?
Oh, a couple of times to Megan.
She said yes to you a lot more. I want to know, for whatever situation, it could be something to do with bureaucracy. It could be something to do with, like, your partner making you go to something.
Yes, or
work
something
making you do something you don't want to do.
Guilted into, well and truly.
Yeah, we want to know when you've been forced to say yes to something and you did not want to have any part to do with it. We're going to give somebody $200 cash.
Oh,
what? $200 cash right in your face. What if you took a long weekend away, Sean? Find accommodation, flights and more on the What If app. What if it's Aussie for travel?
Love
All
it.
right. Just tell us about that time you were forced to say yes to something. Sandra, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sandra.
What happened?
Well, it just happens nearly every month. So I work in sales, so we reach a target, and if we get over target, we have to go and have celebration drinks. And I don't want to have celebration drinks for the people that I work with because they're kind of boring, they're kind of old, and they're weird. So, excuse me, free something instead, and I can have a bottle and go home and have it with my friends. But every time it's like, oh, okay, we're going to have free drinks. I kind of want free drinks. I want
You don't. You know, not with those weirdos.
but I have to. Anyway, so that's, yeah.
And are you there trying to act like you're having a great time?
Well, yeah, I have to pretend and it's fake and it's not real and it's not me. But I'm in sales, but that.
Some people don't pretend.
We can't relate at all, can we?
No.
Not at all. That is so great. You need to take like a little portable esky, just walk into those events, grab what you need, and then go home. It's basically going to be like going to the bottle shop.
But cheaper.
Then go hang out with the people you like, your friends.
Sandra, thank you. That's exactly what we're talking about. She's forced to say yes to it. Matt's in Canning Vale. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
No, good, Maddie.
What are you forced to say yes to?
Okay, so basically last week, just at the perfect time, in the middle of winter, hot water system went bust.
Oh.
So had to call a plumber to come out later on that afternoon to fix. Now, the lady over the phone said, yep, it'll fit. We'll have to give you the upgraded one. They don't manufacture yours. I said, yeah, no worries. You sure it'll fit? Yeah, no worries, like for like. Plumber came out later on that afternoon to have a look at it, followed by the delivery driver. Delivery driver dropped off the hot water system while the plumber was out the back doing his work. And then he pissed off, of course.
Yeah.
The plumber brought it around, found out that it actually doesn't fit at all. And they had to basically cut and chop every pipe that I had, slugging me for $950 on top of it. And... I had no way out because the delivery driver had already taken off.
Oh, no, man. But you repeatedly were asking if it was going to fit.
Yeah, and plumber said, well, sorry, mate, I can't take it back with me.
Yeah.
So this is our option.
And also you needed hot water.
But that was on their end. I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's exactly what happened to you.
So you had to say yes and pay it.
Yeah, no choice. It's, or sit there, let it sit there until someone else can come and sort it out.
Oh, $950 on top of what you thought you were going to pay. That is disgusting.
I hope you have lovely hot showers now.
Oh, my
I hope you enjoy it every day.
All
Thanks, Matt. All right, we want to know, have you been forced to say yes to something? Backed into a corner, you had to say yes.
And your whole body is screaming, no. Hi, Kate.
Hi, how you going?
Hey, Kat.
What did you have to say yes to, Kate?
Okay, so it was actually my mum and stepdad. So my mum is on home hemodialysis because her kidneys don't work. So that keeps her alive and she will be forever. So she has to have dialysis through a machine in her home. So my mum and stepdad claimed in their superannuation and decided to travel around Australia to make the most of their time together. They had the company who supplies the dialysis equipment and machine, got them to sign a waiver to say, you would think that it was to say any damages will not be their fault, but it actually said that they release and discharge the company from any and all liability, including liability of negligence or fault of the company or the patient's death or disability.
What? Why?
So it's something that they already
because she's going to travel with it,
but because it's in a caravan, presumably it completely changes the nature of what they're doing. Is that the?
Yeah.
Is there a person with your mum when they're setting up the gear, or it's just at home with you?
Yes. So no, it's just my mum and stepdad that do it at home.
Yeah. So no staff member comes around or anything. No.
No. But it's just the fact that they were saying even if it's the company's fault of negligence, that they will not sue them.
Because they're moving from place to place.
It's like on wheels.
Yes.
Because it's been put on wheels. It's like my place. Suddenly, because of my address, I have to change my address. Suddenly, that's way more dangerous for the parcel.
Yeah.
To get there. That's insane.
On their mistake.
Yeah. Oh, nah. That's crazy.
No, we're outraged as well, Kate. Thank you.
Yeah. Sean?
Yeah, absolutely. $200
Long
cash.
silences are great on the wireless.
Yeah, they are. What if you took a long weekend anywhere? Find accommodation, flights and more on the What If app. What if it's Aussie for travel? Matt from Canning Vale. He's going to get that.
Free hot water system.
But now it only costs him $750 extra.
That's right.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
It's Nathan and Sean's Book Week.
Having the guys at your school might be safe, but enrolling the kids at State Swim will make them stronger and safer swimmers. Just in time for summer, head to stateswim.com.au.
A shout out to our producer Amy's kids, Charlotte and James, because that was their voices that you just heard there.
Oh,
Little
wonderful,
Book
eh?
Week opener. How adorable are they?
We got an invoice for
tax write-off, Amy.
we got an invoice for $5,000 for that.
right.
Exactly.
And paid it.
Yeah, Charlotte was 3.5. James was only 1.5. He's got to work
right,
on his deal.
She did the bulk of the work, though.
Yeah, so we are going to Ball Creek Primary School this Friday for
Tomorrow.
Ball Creek Rove.
Rove.
They call that tomorrow.
It's so exciting, isn't it?
I can't. Well, I love Book Week. I've actually brought some of my books today. So if you want to give some away, you can give some away.
Oh, that's nice.
My current book, the book that grown-ups get wrong,
Yes.
is out now.
Yes.
And I also have some copies of Disgusting McGrossface on holiday.
On holiday.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, anyone can write clever fart jokes that rhyme.
Disgusting McGross
Yeah,
face.
McGross
On
face.
holiday.
But he's on
On
holiday this
holiday.
time. Just
Go
because
skiing.
you leave your own house, Nathan, doesn't mean that this disgusting character isn't going to come with you and ruin the toilets and leave footprints everywhere and be disgusting.
Gotcha.
Because it's not you.
Because not you.
Because it's not you.
Because it's him.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's
and that's
actually...
all this book is a kid trying to convince the parents it wasn't me.
That's actually
it's
clever.
him. He's
That's
the
It's
disgusting
a clever
one.
concept, isn't it?
I know. I'm surprised it came out of my head.
Is Disgusting McGross's face? Is it a part of a whole series? Does he go lots of places?
We've had 2 adventures. There will be, and there's 2 others planned. One will be visiting the grandparents.
Ah, yes.
Then there is a Christmas spectacular, and then I would like to introduce his friend / partner, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I haven't worked out what her disgusting name would be.
I'll get on that.
No, Nathan? No.
I'll go on with a good one. I hear that Disgusting McGrossface was based on one of your cousins.
Yes.
True.
He's not very good at probability.
Or horse betting.
Those 2 things are related, I would think.
But yes, Book Week is great. I love Book Week. I always have loved Book Week. And
do you force your daughter to get really involved, or is she actually genuinely excited about it?
No, she loves it.
Loves it?
She's all in. Last year, we because you need to. Parents will know this. You need to get in early on
Yes.
what do you want to be, because every child wants something that you've never heard of before, and it's not just put
that's completely
an
unattainable.
upside down milk container,
Yes.
an ice cream container on your head, and you're a spaceman. Go to school.
Yes.
Shut up. So when I was the last,
I love those
Those
kids.
parents are out there.
well, I took it on board myself when I was younger, because I thought I would love to be. I'm going to go as the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz.
Yes,
I
really.
love the book. It's great, and I spent a long time sort of picking that long sort of grass that you
Yes.
get
Yeah.
in
The
bacon
wrap-it-up
blocks.
stuff, yeah.
And I was shoving it in this old flannelette shirt that I had, and I put this old beaten hat on, and I painted my face to look like the Scarecrow, and I turned up to school, and this was like an after-hours thing. You'd go at night, and you'd have the book that you've read with a little report on your
Yes.
desk, and the parents would come in and visit.
okay,
Oh, that's right.
And
Yeah.
I've gone in, and I was the only kid dressed up.
But that was supposed to be. It was an event that...
It wasn't compulsory.
Can I tell you?
Clearly.
I've been there. It was I think it was year 6.
Yes, I was year 7.
Year 6. My brother's.
Everyone's too cool
it
for
was
it.
Halloween, North Calgary Primary School. My brother's class was dressing up. And I was like, well, then we are too. And I got dressed up. I went to school that day as a vampire clown with a plate of fairy bread ready
see?
to add to the catering. And then I got to my class and no one was dressed up.
That is like the Venn diagram crossover of the 2 most scary things: vampire and clown.
And then
I
imagine
thought you meant fairy bread.
Oh, the clown. Yeah, well, see, that's how the vampire gets you to invite them inside.
And then
Nat,
imagine
come on.
none of my friends dressed up. There's a vampire clown sitting there. Everyone else has got their normal lunches. It's sitting there eating endless slices of fairy bread.
with fake teeth. Delightful
and
fairy
blood
bread.
dripping down my face too.
I made it myself.
What's Ruby wanted to go with?
So last year, or this year, she's
Yeah.
going as a character from Nightmare Before Christmas. But last year, Sally, last year she wanted to, in the weeks before, we're like, what do you want to be? She's like, I've thought of it, but I'm still working it out. I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Oh.
We're a week out, and it's suddenly, I want to be a centaur. So this is human from the waist up. Entire horse from the waist down.
Did you manage to execute
I
that?
did the most amazing job. I did a quick look online of how can you even make this happen.
Yeah.
It very quickly involves PVC piping.
Yep.
Yes.
That you build a frame of the horse's legs and spine.
Sounds so easy to get around with.
And then you put a little belt around the waist
Yes,
part.
so attach it to
and
her
then you
waist.
put 2 wheels on the back legs.
Okay.
You cover them with cardboard
This is
hooves,
not easy.
And then you put cardboard hooves on her front feet. And then you wrap your child in a bunch of fur from Spotlight.
Yes.
You glue it to a pair of pants that you don't care about anymore. And then you send her to school and hope that she never has to sit down for the day.
Then Sean bets on her and she loses.
And she pooed everywhere. But
Exactly. But it was.
Yeah, but she was. She
put it on the
got a sugar cube.
Hey, that's an involved costume.
Yeah, well done.
It was 3 days of panic.
That's insane.
Oh, my God, Rove. Fair
After
effort.
2 days of planning of, okay, I think I know how I can do this, going off to Bunnings, going off to Spotlight, spending a ridiculous amount of money to get all the equipment, and smart enough, I'm no fool, bought almost double of everything because I went, I'm going to mess this up. I'm going to mess this up.
Yep.
And put it together. Got her to school. It was only just hanging together. And then they said, okay, kids, it's time for our book week parade where we do 2 laps around the assembly area.
These wheels are going to hold
all
together.
the parents can see all the wonderful costumes. And I'm like, we're going to have half a centaur by the end of this.
That horse is going to get put down by the end of that race.
I was waiting for the screen to come up.
And afterwards, did you have to put the wheels back on your wheelie bin?
Yeah.
I have to say, like,
That's a fair effort.
Do you go to effort for the love of your child? Because your child around that age, you put anything on their head and they think there's something else. Or do you do it because of the pressure from parents? From the other parents?
For me, it was just like, I reckon we could do this.
So you're just like,
So it's the challenge
I think
of it.
it'll look pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everything has been done. If you look online, there are parents that have created ones that the back legs move.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
like
wow.
a piston
So full
system.
animatronic centaurs.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't need that. I just need her to drag her sorry literal ass behind her, and hopefully it would be okay.
I like
but
the kids that-
it was starting to get wonky. It was really starting to get wonky.
I like the kids that just go to school and they've just got like a piece of paper like with a name stapled to their chest.
I'm recycling. That's I am the literal book.
Thing one and
but
thing
I can
two.
say one of the most wonderful things, having written a few children's books, is being sent pictures of kids dressed as my
your
characters.
stuff.
Yeah, that's adorable.
That'd be
So I've had
sweet.
kids dressed as disgusting McGrossface. There's another character I have called Rocky Lobster.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I haven't got any of the frog from the book that grown-ups get wrong.
Yes.
But if there's anyone out there listening who would like to dress their child as a hot dog riding a skateboard, which is also referenced in the book that grown-up gets wrong, then go for it.
This week
I
is
would
that.
love to see that.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
In Melbourne, there's this plumber who goes by the name Haz, and he was put onto a job by a neighbour who said that a family friend of his had no running hot water.
Oh, okay.
And
well, that is a job for a plumber.
Yeah, and he couldn't get it fixed, and he was going through some difficult times. So Haz was put in contact with him, contacted the bloke, and and then heard what he said was the biggest sob story he's ever heard from the bloke.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so he's going to go there and help.
Yeah. So then he went, you know what, mate? You're going through it rough at the moment. He goes, I will not charge you for any labour. I'm just going to charge you for parts.
Okay.
Which was a whole lot of copper piping. So
Really nice,
it was
mate.
$700 instead of going to be $3,000 to $4,000.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an amazing offer.
Amazing offer.
Good work, Haz.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was a really lovely feeling for him until it came for to be payment, and then there was some issues. I'll get into what happened with that. But Haz, because he didn't get paid, he decided to take things into his own hands and go under this guy's house and sort out the problem himself.
This is a quick example of what happens when you don't pay the bill. Look, I wouldn't do this to just anyone. This guy had plenty of time to pay the bill, and at the end of it, I found he brought me to his house with the intention of not paying. So this is what he deserves. He actually sends me a message saying to come and take my work, thinking I wasn't. Lol, bada bing, bada boom.
So he's taking the copper pipe.
He's under the house, taking back everything that he had installed. Yep. Yeah, because the guy never paid for it.
So this is what's happened, right? So he's agreed to do this deal with this guy, $700 just for labour, right?
No, just for parts.
Just for parts. No labour cost, right? So this guy goes, no worries. Then in the meantime, while he's waiting to get paid, the guy said, I've got a problem with my oven, so he goes and pays for his, goes and fixes his oven as well. Then the guy that he did the favour for ends up contacting him and said, can I get an invoice for the $4,000 job? And then Has said, no, you can't, because then I'll get taxed on that.
That's
have to invoice you for what you what you
But
paid.
I'm only doing,
Yes.
Which was the $700. And the guy goes, well, no. He goes, I don't want that invoice. I want to be invoiced for the $4,000. He goes, well, why? And he goes, because my insurance company will pay for it. And he goes, well, if your insurance company's going to pay you $4,000, why aren't you just getting your insurance company to pay me to do the job? And then the guy goes, and now you're putting up the price. And he goes, I'm not putting up the price.
The price remains
the price remains $700, but you're not getting an invoice for $4,000. So this is why the guy ended up refusing to pay. And
so he wasn't his money anyway.
Yes.
But you're going to have to pay an excess, right? So if it was $4,000, then you would pay, let's say, $500 excess. But he's talking about paying $700. Yes. But he wants a receipt.
Yes,
for $4,000.
He would have been.
He wants to.
Unless he wants to.
Higher. Yeah, he wants to do something dodgy with the insurance company by saying that I got charged this much and gets the insurance back instead of just getting the insurance. So contact the plumber and them do it themselves.
Yes, and also he's asking the plumber to
do something
dodgy, invoices, which is fraud.
I mean, who would do that?
That's fraud. That's insurance fraud.
Yeah.
Sean.
Anyway,
insurance fraud, Sean.
No, not in my eyes.
This is Sean.
Bada bing, bada bing.
Exactly. Well, actually, you know what? That was a good point. Anyway, all these other tradies have jumped on board.
Yes.
And they're saying, this is what they're saying, right? That so many comments. The amount of times I've tried to be kind to people doing jobs cheap and they just end up screwing you over. It's rough. Another one, I'm a tradie and I find that people with sob stories that you end up doing a solid for with the price are usually the most difficult to deal with afterwards and with their demands, expectations and payments. Imagine that. You have done someone a favour.
Yes. You've cut your price.
Yes,
or
because of the situation they're in. You've given some. You're being the kind-hearted, generous person, and that person screws you over.
Ungrateful.
Yeah. I've heard people ask for, and this is recently, a guy asking a tradie to pay cash and to do one in their own time, so to speak, and then they wanted a receipt.
You don't get a receipt for a cashy. That's the point of it. That's why it's called a cashy.
Yeah.
And then they're upset because the price changes.
Yes.
If you want one.
Yes. Because if there's a receipt, they have to charge you GST.
Unbelievable. We want to talk about this situation if it's actually real and if it happens everywhere. When people are being screwed over after doing something kind or generous. Tradies, I'd love to speak to you about discounting a job and what can come from that afterwards.
And everybody calls you when they're desperate.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They all want a favour. And then when you do it, they're ungrateful.
Unbelievable. We're going to give someone $150 worth of Atlas Fuel.
Hello.
I know. Find your local WA-owned and operated fuel supplier at atlasfuel.com.au.
All right, tradies, is this real? When you're doing a favour for someone, are they the most difficult customers to deal with? Has it happened to you?
Jared's giving us a call. Good morning, Jared.
Good morning.
Hey, Jared. All right, firstly, we need a favour. No.
What sort of business are you in, Jared?
So I'm a pestie.
Yeah, okay.
And I copped a phone call from a lady on a Friday arvo, and she's bawling her eyes out. She's got active termites in her roof. They're in her floor. Her house has got to fall over. Bawling her eyes out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Explained to me that her dad had passed away, and it was his house. She doesn't know what to do. She's got minimal money. She's worried about the house and her kids. So I went and did about just under $3,500 worth of work on a Saturday.
Whoa, Jared.
Billed her materials only, did no labour, spent a whole day there, and had to pay my offsider as well, so he paid his wages for the day.
Oh, that's really nice here, Jared.
For her to not pay her bill. Basically contacted her, she just completely ghosted us, did some homework on her, did some Facebook stalking, and found out that, one, she has no kids. It was actually her house, and
She was the head purchasing officer for one of the biggest mining companies and had a portfolio of $4.5 million.
No! Jared, did you contact that mining company then? Are you allowed to? What's the deal with that? If someone does something bad in life, can you contact someone's work?
Why not harass them in their workplace?
We, it got pretty nasty. We tried to, go down the legal avenue, but it's a really hard avenue and it's just more expense to us. So sometimes you're better off cutting the loss. But when I put something on Facebook for the suburb that she was in and had quite a few other tradies contact me, and she had done it to Sparky, she'd done it to Chippies, and it was her thing. She got tradies in on the intention of never actually paying.
Jared,
it's outrageous,
can I ask you, does that change the way you are now doing people favours? Because this is the worst thing. People like this will ruin it for anyone that actually is in need and you could do something nice for. Has it changed the way you deal with that?
Look, I still, to be honest, I think I'm a little bit too nice. I still, do things for people nice and, look after them. But I got to admit, I do Google them and do some homework on them first now.
Yeah.
But I just think there's always going to be, negative people out there, and stick with the
bad
positives.
karma on her.
That lady's had a big mining company, she said. What about hitting up their website and writing stuff on it about her?
I really wanted to, but at the time we had a tender with that mining company, so I was really scared that if I got up her and her being the purchasing manager, if I would lose my tender.
And Sean, Natalie's right, Karma. Karma's my boyfriend. Karma's a cat purring on my lap.
That's right, you know that. And Jared, is it okay to take just a box of termites around and re-release them into her facility?
Yeah, exactly.
Some starving termites.
I hummed and hard on taking her a jerry can and a packet of matches.
No. Collect a whole bag of termites, right? A whole thing of termites, and then every day just dangle a bit of wood there so they can't get it.
Really hungry.
And then they're like just starving. And then as soon as they get to the wood, they go.
I don't know, we're ideas people, obviously.
That's the worst part with my trade. I can't go and
take it back.
things.
Yes, exactly. You're a good guy, Jared. Don't stop doing that. Taylor's in Ellenbrook. Hello.
Hello, how you going?
Hi, Taylor.
Are you a tradie as well?
I am. This one's a tradie to tradie, though.
Oh, okay. What happened?
So I'm a night tradie, and we work closely with other companies, and this guy's come in and given us a sob story of like, someone's like stolen all my tools out of my ute, like I can't go to my next job. So I've lent him my tools because we're regularly on jobs together, and he's just flown to Geraldton and taken all my tools with him.
What?
And left the company and never come back.
You lent him your tools so he took them permanently
and moved to Geraldton.
And how much worth of tools, Taylor?
Oh, like easily $500.
Oh.
Like just was like the main stuff. We loaned the little bits and pieces, but like
what a jerk!
That's
bring him back like in 2 days' time. Like I'll see you here. Literally.
And then it just shot through with no intention of returning them.
So you know exactly where he is. Have you contacted him? Is just ghosted you and cut all ties?
I've contacted like his company, my company, because he's left that company. Like they can't contact him anymore either. So like.
You know why? He's probably in the Bahamas holidaying on your tool money.
Exactly. Still wearing his belt around.
What a stitch up. Trading.
No tools because he sold them all to get to the Bahamas.
It hurts when it's someone on your side.
Oh, yeah.
He got to the Bahamas on the $500 worth of tools? Okay, good.
I feel like we're just scratching
That's hammer money.
Anyway, $150 thanks to Atlas Fuel. You can find your local WA-owned and operated fuel supplier at atlasfuel.com.au. It's going to go to Jared. Taylor, yours is very worthy as well, but Jared, $3,500. He had to pay his offsider as well.
Outrageous.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.